Stop chasing. What's going on, y'all? Listen, Sunday watch list. We got some profitable setups. We're gonna get into it in just a second. But what I want y'all to do right now is I want y'all to let me know where you're chiming in from. Say what's up. Doot! Hit that like button. Let me know that there's love there, all right? Y'all get on in here. Y'all get on in here. We got some really solid setups that I've taken some time to research. A few things I want to discuss. Some things I want to talk about the week ahead. Um, we're gonna have another a very specific and intentional live session that's not about like the setups. It's gonna be like literally like showing you guys how to back test. I think I talked about that last week. So yeah, y'all climb on in. And again, hit that button. Liz, how you feeling? How you doing over there, Liz? How's your weekend? How's your weekend been going? LaRue. Hey, LaRue. You supposed to call me. You supposed to call me and let me know you're going on a train ride. You're supposed to be like, yo, I'm going on a train ride. Like, what you trying to do? You know what I'm saying? But I ain't get that call, so you know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on. QTZ. How you feeling? How you feeling over there? Good to see y'all, man. How was y'all weekend? I already know LaRue got into something. What else y'all get into? P, what's going on, P? How you feeling over there? I'm feeling great. I'm feeling really good. Thanks for asking. You said next time. Okay. All right. I'm gonna hold you to that. I'm gonna hold you to that. Awesome. Yeah, as y'all are climbing in, just hit that like button for me. That'll be extremely helpful. Ash Cash in the building. How you feeling, Ash? What you got going on this weekend? Or what did you have going on this weekend? Nawan, how you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, we got some good stuff to go over today, yo. We got some good stuff to go over today. I got three stocks that I think are going to be incredible setups for the week. Obviously, like I said last time, we gotta really make sure we understand where the market's going. But yeah, we got some really good setups. Slightly bearish sentiment, right? I would say like neutral to slightly bearish sentiment, because there are some really good setups to the upside, which I'll get into in a second. But we also could, just by one bad piece of information, because we got like inflation data and labor market data coming out this week. One little thing that's off could send us on a continuation to the downside. We got a bounce on Friday, in a lot of stocks, but just one little thing can shift that whole thing. All right. Liz said, "Great, good to hear that." Still trying to get this honey. Hey, listen, Burpee, it's on the way, Burpee. Just be patient. You gonna get you a nice honey bun, and it's gonna be the best honey bun you ever had. All right. Good to hear, Nawan. I'm glad that you're doing great. I'm glad that you're doing great. Let's see. Let's go since SB is on. Oh shit, the Super Bowl is on. Damn. That's probably why ain't a whole lot of people in here. I'm I ain't even think about that. I ain't even think about like, okay, there's a lot of people watching Super Bowl. All right, we'll make this a short and sweet one. All right, but y'all get on here, y'all get on there here and just hit that like button. All right, I'm competing with the damn Super Bowl right now, so y'all must really love me. You know what I'm saying? If y'all on here, the Super Bowl on, there's all this other stuff going on. All right, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Good to see you, Pam. How you feeling? You already know. All right, so look, real quick, the three stocks that I'm going over are going to be MRK, they're going to be SHOP, and then MU. Okay, MRK has gone crazy. It's hit all the targets, but we'll get into exactly what I'm seeing. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna flip over to share my screen, and we'll actually Yeah, we'll make this a shorter one. I wasn't even thinking about the Super Bowl, man. I'm not even gonna lie to you. All right, all right. So we got Shopify pulled up, right? What I'm seeing with Shopify, and definitely take note of this. Um, this is a new indicator that I've been using. It's called the Fair Value Gap, or IFVG, by Nephew Sam. It's a really cool way to, instead of having to like try to eyeball the fair value gaps, it just gives you all the fair value gaps. This makes everything that we're already doing just that much easier, right? When you put these on, you get to understand like what's happening, like with the liquidity, sweeps when they take place, and where that's taking it next, right? So if anybody understands anything about liquidity, right, we've talked about it, in the past, but liquidity is simply just like coming to an area to clean up like where a lot of people are, right? So liquidity is created by stop losses, right? When people see stop losses, that creates an opportunity to get those people out of there so that the market can flip and gain momentum. I'm going to make a video about this, but if I could give you an analogy of what it is, liquidity is like a pinball machine, right? It's like it's coming, the market is going, back and forth, and then on its, in its way down, it needs something that can send it like back up, like a pinball machine, right? So when it comes down, imagine the liquidity areas literally being like you hitting the side of the pinball machine and then making the ball go up really fast, right? When something falls into that liquidity space, it tends to change directions and get the momentum that it needs to go to the upside. So the fair value gaps are where they head, you know, in that momentum. So we have one right here. We come to this bullish order block on Shopify. It's definitely slow momentum, and we got a true reversal taking place here. I would love to play this into this fair value gap. The fair value gap goes as high as 130, right? So there's opportunity to take profit all the way up into there. I would just like to see a confirmation on Shopify tomorrow, right? But this is definitely ready to to start heading up. Also, it got earnings in 3 days, so this may not be like a bad idea to to swing and catch that, especially with it being down outside of his range. Like look at it's been in this range for a while, and look at how far down from it has come. It's made its way all the way to this order block. So even if it only wants to form a bear flag, I believe it absolutely can get to a minimum of 121, which is about $11 from where it already is. All right, so solid setup on Shopify. I really think that this is something that that you guys should take a look at. I'm going to be, like I said, looking to play it into this fair value gap as soon as we get the confirmation. So possibly Tuesday or the close of the market on Monday. If we can close bullish, I'll swing this. All right. So that's Shopify. The next one was MRK. What else we got up in here? American Khalifa. What's going on, brother? Darrell, how you doing? He said I just thought she didn't like football. Nah, man, I used to play, man. I love football, man. It says the Super Bowl. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we exactly. See, I got y'all paper first. You know what I'm saying? Put y'all paper first, and we'll get to the Super Bowl when when we're ready. But yeah, y'all come on in here, hit that like button as you do. I'm gonna jump into this next one. MRK, right? It's another solid setup. I know I was talking about on I think this might have been like Wednesday or something like that. That the spreads were a little high. When you swing it, you get a little bit better spreads, right? Like when you get it further out, I should say. This is a really good opportunity to get this further out, right? As you guys can see, we got a fair value gap sitting right here, which is right around the pullback area, right? A little bit above the pullback area. It's failing. Momentum is slowing. We're wicking for the second time or the third time inside of this bearish order block. We should see this come and fill this fair value gap right here. All right. So again, similar to Shopify, what I would just like to see is some sort of confirmation to show us that we're changing directions. And this could be a really clean play right here. We talking about, all the way down at the end. We talking about shit about close to $10, right? So this is a really solid play. $10 on a stock this price is a really strong movement. So that's what I'll be looking for. It's also at the the upper extreme of the Bollinger Band, right? Just taking the swing strategy into consideration. The Keltner channels are also inside the Bollinger Bands, which are really a really good signal for a reversal. All right, so if we can get confirmation on this tomorrow, this is one that I would take 2 to 4 weeks out to the downside. All right, and targeting this first fair value gap. And we'll use this as the, the metric for, how long we want to stay in, right? If it moves straight through this fair value gap, it may be wanting to come down and take out this next fair value gap. There's quite a few of them that need to get cleaned up. So at the bare minimum, this comes back to retest 120. All right, so I like this a lot to the downside. This is what I'm going to be watching on Monday for sure. All right, and last but not least, on my watch list, we got MU, old Micron. Micron could potentially be in a bear flag, right? I drew this out on my own, right? This is the measurement of the bear flag. Some may say that it's just a retest and wants to continue higher. But if the market doesn't want to go higher, even though this has been a stock that can kind of perform on its own or outperform the market, I should say, I do believe that it will fall victim to, what the market wants to do. We are in this, the bear flag literally takes you up. It's almost like picture perfect the way that this bear flag pushes right into this bearish fair value gap. So what I'm thinking is going to happen is this fair value gap gets filled, and not even with a closing, right? Fair value gaps can get filled with, with a breach. So a breach into a fair value gap, meaning that it just tests, like it just goes there and wicks, is enough to take that fair value gap off the table. You see what I'm saying? So if it comes and forms a wick up here, that's going to be a really good setup for this bear flag breakdown. And then, of course, we'll play it level to level. The first target would be this first fair value gap right here, right? This will be the first target. And then the next target will be right in the second fair value gap, which also coincides with the first bullish order block. So this is where we may run into traffic and it wants to go up. But again, with enough momentum, it may break straight through this. Now, the way that I drew this target, this measured move, right, just literally just taking the flagpole and attaching it to the outside of the bear flag, is literally bringing us to that third fair value gap. All right, none of these have been touched, right? These are clean, untouched, unbreached, right? They haven't been messed with yet. So we could literally come and fill all three of them to the downside if that's the direction that the market wants to go in. Again, this is all going to be impacted by the data that we get this week. So I'll be watching this very closely. But those are the three that I got. All money makers. I think all of them going to hit. Again, we're just going to wait for the confirmation on all of them to take any sort of entry. All right. So that's what I got, man. That's what I got. Subsistence said I'm late. Pixel B, how you feeling? Subsistence, how's it going? Who we got? Is it Tanvir? Tanvir Sadiq? He said we got to pay the bills. Hey, exactly. No, that's facts. That's facts, Tanvir. You said you looking for it to fall below that? Yeah. On MRK, yep. Yeah, I'm looking for MRK to fall, pretty substantially. Like I said, that first order block is a nice enough distance. Mikey Mike, how you feeling, brother? All right. So that's what I got going on. That was really quick. That's 15 minutes in the game. We went through those. What I want y'all to, like I said, understand is that right now we're coming off of a week of surprises. We had that one bounce but you can't forget that majority of the week we were coming down. So there's a lot of momentum to the downside. So we need to get a strong confirmation. I do think that we'll see some, quite a bit of bounces in the crypto space, right? A lot of those are sitting right at order blocks, but in some of these technology stocks, we could see some pretty strong downside. The same with with healthcare. So we really just gotta wait. Like Tuesday, I believe, is when the like inflation data comes out, and labor, I believe, is like Thursday or something like that. But either way, that's all going to give us the insight that we need to to really get a little clearer on the direction. But again, if y'all are just joining, I did mention something in the beginning of this that's really important. Turn your fair value gaps on, right? Turn your fair value gaps on. Get the indicator. It really helps out with with choosing your targets and really understanding what price is trying to do. All right, so that's something that I would highly recommend. All right, now I'm gonna flip to y'all. Y'all go ahead and just send me what it is that y'all want to see me analyze. What y'all want to see? Tan beer. Okay, awesome. You said Apple looks exhausted at the 281. All right. All right. So we'll go Apple. We'll go Apple. What else y'all want to see? Shout out to all y'all being here too. Shout out to all y'all saying fuck the Super Bowl for now. Shout out to all y'all for choosing y'all paper first. All right. Apple. We got Hood. MP. What's MP? BMNR. I think BMNR might be a good one, Liz. I think you wanted something right there. And you said NVO. Okay. Sound applied. Okay. Applied. Gotta have those in the mix. All right. Google. For sure. All right, let's get to it. Let's get to it. And again, as y'all are coming in, go ahead and hit that like button for me. Doot! One time. And we good. All right. Now let's get into it. Let's get into it. All right. Apple. First order of business. Oh yeah. Hell yeah. Absolutely. 100%. Very clean. Very clean. Look at all these fair value gaps that gotta fill. And here's the thing: we played Apple to the up. This is how this shit works, right? We get what we want. It goes in the direction that we anticipated. As y'all can see, like all of this. I mean, everybody that's been rocking with me knows like all the the call outs. We had all the levels marked, and it literally went exactly to the final target. Literally, and that's where it's rejecting. And because it got there so quickly, what did it create? It created a bunch of fair value gaps, right? No interruptions creates fair value gaps. So we got three of them things all the way down to this order block. All right. The crazy part is we can just adjust these and we can now take this and we can say, well, I won't do that because I do want to keep this for future reference. We'll rewrite it. But now we got our targets like this. We got our downside targets, and I'll change the color on this so that we can easily separate it. So we'll make this red. So this will be the first target. We'll put down in this area will be target 2. And again, when we're talking about targets, right? It all depends on how long you have it out. We can't necessarily expect it to come down with the same exact speed that it went up, right? I mean, unless we get some sort of real cold setup, but it could take a little bit longer. So we want to give ourselves some time when we do decide to enter these swings, right? Something that I do often is I'll catch target 1, take full profits, re-enter when I see that it's is making its way to the new target, right? This is a beautiful setup because it definitely wants to come back down here, right? It has to rebalance. All right, so all we need tomorrow is a bearish confirmation. If we get a bearish confirmation, I would feel comfortable at least taking this to target 1, because target 1 would be at the, so even if it's still, so say it wanted to continue going up, right? The way that it's going to get through highs is by pulling back. This is why this is such a great setup. It has to pull back anyway to go up. With this sort of a setup, with this reversal and rejection off of it, yeah, it could do something that's unlikely, right? The stock market can always throw you something that's not fitting with the setup. But based on technicals, if this wants to make it through, it's had a struggle getting up here. What it needs, right? What it needs to get through the highs is going to be a pullback to get more momentum to the upside. So at the very minimum, we could get that pullback to this first fair value gap if it does want to form like a bull flag or something like that. So catching that formation will already cash you out in this first target. And then if it breaks through this target, then you know where it wants to come, right? And we'll draw the flag, but when it breaks out of that flag, right, that it probably inevitably will form right in this area, but we'll already be in the play. If it breaks out of that, then we know that it's coming to fill this next fair value gap. So that'll be target 2. Again, depending on how many contracts you have, you might have already been out and you can just simply re-enter. But this is poised to come down into this area, all the way down to 262. So I like this. I like this setup a lot. Definitely keeping this on the radar, and we'll be watching this tomorrow for a bearish, confirmation with a lower low and a lower high. All right, that's Apple. All right, let's check out Hood. See what's going on in the hood. Again, as y'all are coming in, man, hit that like button for me one time. Woo! All right. Man, look at this. Look at all these fair value gaps. I like this. Yeah, we'll probably get continuation all the way up to about or retracement, I should say, up to about $97. It should come up to this area with no problem. Yeah, I'm actually going to be interested in looking at this intraday. Oh yeah, intraday, because it has exactly. I knew it was the reason I said that. It has 2 days until its earnings. So it may be expensive, right? It may be expensive, but that's why we trade it intraday. It's expensive, but you can charge even more. You know what I mean? So the contracts will be expensive, but when it goes up, the contracts will be even more expensive. So, anybody interested in buying it, which there will be a lot of interest because there's just usually a lot of interest during earnings, you can just get out of that, right? And we know Hood moves. Look at Hood. It's like Hood moves. Hood gonna give you about maybe not $10 every time, but Hood is gonna give you a solid move when it decides to move. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 fair value gaps to get to that retest. We should absolutely see. It's already starting to fill one. Now this is where we know if it's breaking down or not. This should be a rejection level if it doesn't want to go clean up this next fair value gap. If it doesn't reject and it fails to go lower to clean this candle out right here, then that means that the structure is still being held and it wants to come up and fill this next fair value. Okay, so I say hood intraday to watch to the upside. There's so many ways you can watch that. You can look at it on on a lower time frame, 15-minute, orb structure. You can look at the fair value gaps on on the hourly to see if it's starting to move into that area. But I definitely like hood for sure intraday tomorrow. All right, but let's see if they throw any tricks out there first. Let's see if it wants to pull back. But again, you're just watching to make sure that this level right here at 77.50 is held. As long as that's held, we got a really strong opportunity to make it to the upside and fill these next two fair values. All right, so that's hood. BMNR. We got man. Yeah, Apple would be Apple could be a swing for sure. I also like it intraday. That first target it can hit intraday. So a lot of these first targets can get hit like intraday, like tomorrow. Um, you said it's $10 this week. Oh, yeah. Hood has yep. Okay, so now we're gonna go BMNR. Mm-hmm. Everything about it looks good. Everything about this looks good. We had a really strong Friday in crypto, y'all. Really strong Friday in the crypto, currency stocks. This was up 17%. What was coin up? Coin was up. What did we get with coin? Coin up 13%. What is Hut 8 up? Hut 8 was up damn near 20%. Right? So yeah, we just got huge bounces across the market, which could be, it could be some sort of fake out, but the timing of it, like it being in this bullish order block, it being, oversold, it has a lot of fair value gaps right here. It looks like a picture perfect retracement to to retest some of these levels. We just have to wait and see. Again, every, pretty much all of these that y'all are naming, like I'm very interested in intraday, right? There could be some swing opportunities again once we get once we get more confirmation, but this right here, you so I don't really consider this like a reversal signal right here, even though like because so if this candlestick was here by itself, you wouldn't necessarily be like, oh, that's a reversal signal. You look at it as a reversal signal because of this candle right here. So I don't really count this as confirmation. I need to see a little bit more, right? So again, that's why I want to play it intraday and just watch for all of the signs, like on the hourly time frame of it going to the upside. All right, its first fair value gap is sitting at about 2150, right? That's still inside the bullish order block. We got a lot of people that's gonna be buying here, right? Look at this. Let me see if I can come down a little bit. It's a huge buying zone too. So that's another thing that I'm a little concerned about is that when you have these huge buying zones, sometimes these technicals can kind of like fail you a little bit, which is why I say I'm more interested in just intradays like throughout most of this week. All right. If the swing opportunity is not there, I'm not taking it. But there are some fair value gaps that do need to get filled both on the daily and hourly. All right. So yeah, Bitmine looks solid to the upside, but again, we just have to wait until tomorrow to see what it gives us. But everything on the swing tip looks good too. Counter channels on the inside, it's at the lower extreme of the Bollinger Band. Oversold, it's in a bullish order block, all the things. Right? So there's a lot of confluence here, but we just gotta see. Yeah, it would be even cleaner if it didn't gap up. Like if we just got like kind of a flat opening tomorrow and then it pumped, that would give me way more confidence. So yeah, that's BMNR. Next we got NVO. NVO. Probably the same situation. Yeah, it looks almost identical. It's just not at an order block. Well, it is at an order block. Yeah, the market in a lot of ways look like it can bounce pretty hard. But again, we don't want to be fooled. We don't want to fool ourselves like too soon, right? A bounce could literally just mean a retest so that it can continue, down, right? It could just be a pullback. So I need to see it really start making some moves, right? Get out of this crowded area right here. And in terms of NVO, I would like to see it clear this level right here. If it can clear like 49.50, right, and start making its way up into this next fair value gap, then yeah, we could just come clean this right up, and that could be beautiful. All right, just spinning this. Yeah. Oh yeah. And another thing is it's coming off of a double bottom, right? This is somewhat of a double bottom here. Touch here, come up, touch here. So yeah, the momentum to the upside could be crazy. We just have to see if this is indeed what is taking place. All right. So NVO looks promising to the upside for tomorrow, but I'll definitely keep an eye on this. So mm, I don't like this at all. I'm gonna be real. Did I put the wrong thing? I think I put the wrong thing in. Hold on. Maybe I typed it in wrong because I'm like, this don't even look right. Hold up. Yeah, that says sound USD. Why I keep putting two in? Clean. Hey, look, I'm gonna be real with y'all. Every stock we're looking at has the exact same setup. Pretty much every stock we're looking at got the exact same setup. He said I'm buying in the morning. Yeah, BMNR looks really good. I like that in the morning time for sure. They got a lot of it. Marcel going to be some wood in the hood. I think so. I think we're gonna have a solid. Everything looks like it wants to bounce, right? Everything has this same setup right here. It's at an order block. So us pushing down so far, what's happening is there's a lot of dip buyers, right? We got a lot of dip buyers that are making their way into the market. Okay, so you know, if we don't get a curveball thrown with negative like economic news this week, we could really start to make our way back to back up to the top, right? This could be that pivotal moment, right? But it's going to rely pretty heavy. Um, Hood could have a strong earnings. Shopify could have a strong earnings. This might get the ball rolling a little bit. There was some negative news or some news to make people a little skeptical about what's going on with like AI and stuff like that. So that's why you saw a lot of those stocks take like a little bit of a beating. But yeah, I mean everything we looking at got the same thing, like 3 to 4 fair value gaps that it needs to clean up. It's in an order block. It got a bullish confirmation forward slash engulfing. You know what I mean? Like this looks really good. Like I'm not gonna lie. If this can hold this structure, I would enter this tomorrow. All right, but we just gotta wait and see. All right. Again, as y'all are coming in, hit that like button for me. Let's get this out to as many people as possible. If you're just tuning in, it's your first time. I'm here every day during the week, 11:30 Pacific, and 2:30 Eastern, right? And then on Sundays, I'm here at 4 p.m. Pacific and 7 Eastern, which is right now conflicting with the Super Bowl, but y'all here, so y'all don't care about the Super Bowl. All right, but yeah, again, hit that like button for me to be a tremendous help. And we're gonna get to these next three, and then I'm gonna let y'all go. All right. So we got applied, which I'm pretty sure, is gonna have the same exact setup. We're gonna see. This shit is funny. I'm not gonna lie. Everything got the same exact setup. This is slightly different, but same sentiment. Like Thursday, Wednesday and Thursday fall, right? And then we got the bounce. Everything's gonna look the same, yo. Everything's gonna look the same. This is the same setup, right? We fail. Only difference is the distance is a little bit, more pronounced. But we got this this fair value right here that it needs to fill. This one right here that it needs to fill. Yeah, I'm just curious how the market's going to open, because we may open bearish but close the day bullish. All right, so we could even possibly see like some sort of harami form here. So this is something that I'm going to be very very interested in waiting for, because if we can get that harami closing here, like if we open up lower, like we open up bearish, and then we just stay here or form some sort of inside candle, we will absolutely take these two fair value gaps out. Absolutely. With ease. All right. So I do like applied, but with such a large move that it had on Monday, it is a possibility that we open lower just to go higher. All right. So I'm gonna keep that on the radar for for intraday too and swings. But I like it a lot. I like it a lot. And I like I said, I would be targeting this 39 area as like the final target. First target would be up here about $37. All right, so it's some good distance that can take place literally just this week. With this setup right here. All right, like I said, especially if we open bearish, it'll be even better because now we got a couple more dollars that we can get out the deal. All right. All right. He said keep an eye on Palantir if they hit. Oh yeah, I'm gonna throw Palantir on there. But they still in talks about Iran. Yeah, MSTR had a huge Friday, and MSTY did too. Crazy. The only bad part about it is that like I think like MSTY jumped like 20%. Only bad thing is that it failed damn near 20% or more, in the past few weeks. So yeah, I'm hoping that this is the start of something great in crypto. I really am. I'm not gonna lie to you. I really love this group. Hey, we love you too, Liz. It's love in here, isn't it? We got people in the TPC that's winning crazy, not just in in stocks but in real life, and everybody supports each other. So that's what I love about it the most. All right, y'all want to see some other stuff? You got AMD on here. I didn't even see all these. We got AWM. I said AWM, AMD. We got Amazon, and then we got IWM. I think I was trying to say IWM and Amazon at the same time. That's where AWM came from. Let's see. Both of them are beasts. Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, yeah. Oh, they moved 120 planes. Oh yeah, something might be going down. Yeah, we gonna see. Genesis, how you feeling, brother? Jamal, what's going on? How you feeling over there? All right. Again, as y'all come in, just hit that like button for me. We're gonna keep it rolling. All right. Next, we got Google. Google. GOOGL. See what we got going on here. Ooh, I wish I would have seen this. Damn. Google gonna pop this week. I'm willing to bet y'all Google be right here tomorrow. 3:30 something. Or more. This is a bullish harami. Came down, wicked off the order block, got a fair value gap right there to fill. This is gonna go crazy tomorrow. It's gonna go crazy tomorrow. If it doesn't go crazy, then you should monitor all of your trades across the market because if it doesn't go crazy tomorrow, we're gonna be in a day where there's something suspicious going on or something that's just like out of the ordinary going on. Because this setup right here, right, it formed this fair value gap right here, came down, pushed down, and then opened up a little lower, made an inside candle, also known as a bullish harami. And this has nothing but room to the upside. Beautiful setup. I wish I would have caught this on Friday. If I would have seen this on Friday, I would have took it. So so yeah, if we get lucky, we might have missed the train on this one, but if we get lucky and it opens flat tomorrow, right? Like it opens like, you know, let's say somewhere in this area or maybe like slightly up here, then we still are in the money. But this is a setup that might give you a gap up in the morning. You know what I mean? We just got to see where it opens. But as long as this structure is being held, this bullish harami structure is being held, and it's not dropping below this area here, I'm very very interested in calls. I'm probably gonna put this on my morning watch list. I like that a lot. Yep. Target will be about 337. Yeah. I like this a lot. Let me see. Yep. No earnings to worry about. Yeah. This could be a swing play too. It just everything is going to be predicated on how we open. So we just gotta see how we open. All right. We got to make sure this structure is held. But if it is, man, this is definitely going to retest highs. I'm very excited about that. That's a banger. All right, Palantir. Let's see what we got. This is also an inside candle. So with ease, it'll probably come and fill this fair value gap right here. If we don't break down and try to come to this 110 area, and it holds this structure, we should see this fair value gap get filled tomorrow. All right. So I definitely will be watching this as well in the morning. In the scenario that it opens, let's say it opens at about 139, 138.50, perfect. As long as we hold this little structure here. Matter of fact, let me just draw a little miniature trend line. And as long as we can hold this structure, take it right to the top of that fair value gap. Mm-hmm. Yep. This should be a good one. Yeah, I like Palantir a lot, yo. But again, we're gonna wait and read that price action, and we're gonna enter at the right time. We're gonna hit it. Um, shit, this might be a 30-40% play on a Monday. We'll see how it's acting in the morning. My only hope is that these stocks don't gap up and leave us. You know what I mean? That's the only thing that I'm concerned about. That's the only thing I'm concerned about as far as these. Adam, what's going on, brother? Man, weekend was great. My weekend was great, man. Appreciate you asking. Yeah, everything that I named, Kay, I'm going to be looking at for intraday, and then we'll make a decision about it for swinging toward the end of the day. But I'm looking at all of these for intraday. They won't all, obviously be on my watch list, but I'm going to be watching this list if that makes sense. All right, let's go AMD. Yeah, same setup. Huge gap right here. Huge gap right here. Yep. Look at this fair value gap. We should get a nice mean reversion. We should definitely get a nice mean reversion up into this area right here. May not fill the entire gap tomorrow, um, but we shall see. Now, this is another beautiful thing, y'all. This these fair value gaps are going to let us know if the stock is really messing with these levels back to the upside. Because here's another thing with AMD, right? And we were on this the other day. I got the bear flag still drawn, right? The bear flag still drawn. It still has this gap down here to fill. So if it fails, this is perfect, right? If it fails in this fair value gap, it's just not time yet. It wants to come clean this up first. So that's what we're going to be looking for. I would say if we're talking about 50% of the move, because again, your bear flag can never be 50% of the move. So 50% of the move would be right about about halfway through the fair value gap, right about here, right? So really, this could pull back. I'm gonna make this longer. This bear flag could be as far as this right here. It could go like this. We could really make it that long. You see what I'm saying? That would still be 50% of the down. So it could pull back as much as about 221.50 and still be ready to come to the downside. So we got to be very careful about our entries and make sure that we're respecting this area here. All right. Now we can't always just automatically assume that the full fair value gap is going to get filled, especially when it's bigger, right? Whenever the gaps are bigger, they take more effort to get through, just like anything else. So we're gonna kind of like let this consolidate and see what happens. But if we get some major failures here and then we break out of this, man, you could catch a serious bag coming and falling into this gap right here. And as you guys can see, just look at the size of the candles on AMD historically, right? Look at these on day they give you they got plenty of days unless they're in some sort of consolidation, right? But when they move, they're giving you solid days in that direction. So when it shoots, just look at the past 3 days, past week for real. When it decides to move, it's going in that direction. So that's what I love about AMD. Once we get the failure and it decides that it's falling out of this bearish order block, we're coming in here. It already attempted. It already breached this gap right here. It just said that it needed a little bit more fuel. This fair value gap is going to be the fuel. All right. If it breaks above here, then that means that it wants to come and fill the full fair value gap. That's when our sentiments can be bullish and we can ride it up to 36.65. Okay. So that's AMD. I see you, Asset Pac. How you feeling? I said Asset Pac-Man. How you feeling? I said you should take a couple of these. No, absolutely, Liz. Absolutely. Intraday for sure. Because it's going to be a lot of opportunity tomorrow. Again, I'm just really curious to see how it opens up. Because if we can open up without gapping up on some of these setups, then we're going to be in some good shape. We're going to be in good shape. All right. Now we got Amazon. Yep. Couple of gaps to fill. Yeah. This is a pretty strong reversal. Got a fail 2D, right? It got way out of character, right? It got way out of character. Look, it ain't supposed to be down here. Who's down here? It ain't got no companions down here. Ain't no homies down here. So this looks like it's ready to bounce. It actually did come and fill this fair value gap right here, though. As you can see, there was a fair value gap right here from 204.50 down to about 202. So this did come and fill the fair value gap, and it decided that it wanted to bounce at that fair value gap. So it doesn't want to fall anymore. That's a good sign. If we can just get some sort of confirmation, this could be good for a swing. But again, intraday, depending on how this opens, like I would love a bearish opening. So here's where a lot of people get confused, right? We think that, and tell me if y'all have done this. Y'all are becoming masters of this now. So you may not do it now, but tell me if you've done this in the past, where you had like a stock that looked bullish. You swung it, or you were just watching it, and it opened bullish, and you were like, okay, like it's gonna continue being bullish, and then it turned against you. And how many times has something looked bullish and it opened bearish, and you completely wrote it off, right? When something does the opposite of what you expect, just like in life, it's always a teachable moment with you. You know what I mean? When something goes the opposite of how you want, say you're denied an application, you're fired from a job, you're whatever, right? Something goes against you to derail you. There's always an opportunity that's sitting there. So if you wanted the stock to be bullish just to be right, you wanted it to go up because you either got an early entry on it or whatever, and you want it to be up for the day tomorrow, you limit yourself to that first few minutes. You be thinking that's what the whole day gonna be. You be like, it's not up. What's going on? It's like, yo, we got 7 hours in the market, and y'all know what can happen in an hour. So let alone 7, right? The market can really decide to go crazy, or we could be in an inside candle day, which is usually what happens after a very strong move, right? So we get that strong move like we got on Friday. Tomorrow it could open bearish, which would put it in the area for an inside candle, which is actually good. We look at it as like, oh, it dropped. It's like, no, this is setting you up for the explosion. So I would love to see bearish openings on all of these tomorrow, and possibly bearish closings depending on where they open. Now, if they open like super low and it closed bullish, as long as it's still inside this candle, it don't matter. We really want to see inside candles on these plays that got strong bullish days. That's going to make it stick. If we gap up, then the upside might be limited. You understand how that works? The upside may be limited if we gap up, because every time you gap up, now you're giving yourself something like another reason to come back down, right? The less reasons you give yourself to come back down, the more likely that there's sustained upward movement. So again, if there's no gap up tomorrow, right, and it's just like this, just gets like it comes down a little bit, and we get like a say we close at like 207.50 or 208 or something like that, it is going to explode through these fair value gaps. That's what you want to wait for. All right. So the move may not be tomorrow, but Tuesday is looking more like what it would be, just based on these setups. So I like Amazon a lot, and I'm gonna be watching Amazon for a bearish Harami closing. I mean bullish Harami closing. Definitely gonna be watching for the bullish Harami closing. All right. That makes sense. You said that's happened to you. I'm telling you, ask that Pac-Man. I'm telling you. He said ready to whap this week. Nah, hell yeah. We gonna hit the market extremely hard this week. He said it happened to me more times than I like to admit. Listen, it happens to the best of us. It's happened to the best of us at some point or another. All right? Yeah, exactly. Just like a slingshot, Liz. All right? All right, so last but not least, we got IWM. IWM, I was looking at this a little bit earlier. And we got some fair value gaps on IWM, right? Right up here to the upside. It could want to come and just clean this up and then reject. I wouldn't be surprised if it came up here and rejected, right? Came and cleaned this up and rejected off the Bollinger Band / top of the fair value gap, and then finally made its way back down, right? Finally made its way back down to fall into this, the fair value gaps that we got to the downside. So yeah, I do like intraday. I mean, IWM for me is always intraday. It's rare that I swing IWM. But we just gonna be waiting to see it break this previous candle high. So a break of previous day highs, whether that happens in the first 30 minutes or what, we'll see. And again, how it opens is also going to say a lot as well. All right. So I will be watching this. Obviously Isaiah will be calling this out in the Whisperer channel and in the regular voice. But yeah, this has some potential. Looks like we got a nice reversal around here at this order block. And it looks like this fair value gap wants to get taken out. Fair value gaps are so important because they tell us, what direction the market's going to go in. Because it typically is going to give you a reversal or a continuation. And then once it's broken through, also depending on how the rest of the left of the chart looks, you can make some more assumptions. But this one is at high, so we don't have anything to assume about the left of the chart. So again, every time something makes new highs, it starts to like really second guess or think about what it's doing. So it may want to start coming down. Again, if we go through the fair value gap, new highs is what it wants to make. If we fail the fair value gap, then it may be wanting to come down and retest this area down here to get some more momentum. All right, so again, we're gonna see how this opens tomorrow. I don't really have a preference on how this particular one opens, but I would definitely like to see this, like to see what decision is being made here in this area. All right, IWM doesn't have to move much for you to make money. Y'all know that. So we'll definitely catch this at some point in the morning time. And if there's an obvious setup for the swing, then maybe my sentiments will change on that. All right. And yes, my dear Liz. All right. This is not at all financial advice, because how could I give financial advice and I'm not a financial advisor? All right. It's for entertainment purposes only. All right. I don't really know what I'm talking about up here. I'm just up here just talking shit, cracking jokes. All right. So if you ever make a decision to get into a trade, make sure that trade is your own doing. You used your brain. You decided. You was like, okay, yeah, this makes sense. Okay, you went and looked at the technicals and all of that. You was like, this is a good trade for me to get into. There you go. All right. But don't do it because I said so. Like, you know what I mean? You feel me? You understand what I'm saying? Are we clear? All right. All righty. Appreciate you, Liz. All right. Yeah, that's it, y'all. I'm gonna let y'all go. We an hour in. Solid day. She said, I love this kind of entertainment. This is what I like to call this is real adult entertainment. You know what I mean? Not what you think, but we in here making money. Not because I said so, not because I'm giving you any plays or nothing like that. But we just think alike. We're on the same wavelength. You know what I mean? Y'all just happen to be thinking about the same stocks that I'm thinking about. All right? But now y'all go and have fun. Enjoy the rest of y'all weekend. It's always a vibe with y'all in here, man. I appreciate y'all showing up as consistently as y'all do. And yeah, you gotta have a disclaimer in. You gotta get that in. All right. But yeah, y'all go enjoy y'all Sunday. I'll see y'all bright and early in the morning. If you are watching this for the first time and you don't have a trading home or a family to call a home, right? You got to hit the link in the bio of any one of my videos and really tap in to see what TPC is all about. All right, we get busy every morning, right? We find plays. We also don't take plays when it's not an opportunity there, saving people money, right? So if it's something that you've been thinking about doing or on the fence about, I would highly recommend to just, check out the link, read the testimonials, and see if it's something that resonates with you. All right? I'm about to get up out of here, man. It's always love over here. I appreciate y'all. Remember, invest smart, live free. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.